Good afternoon, Temple Israel. I hope this finds you having a great time wherever you are this summer. Speaking of summer, my colleagues asked me to give you a little bit of Torah on schwitzing because they're sweating so much in the office, working so hard right now as we speak. And I couldn't come up with anything on schwitzing, but I thought a little bit more about summer themes, and I came across a wonderful midrash about bees. Now, the reason why I'm talking about bees is because we're about to begin the book of Deuteronomy this week. And Deuteronomy in Hebrew is Devarim. And the rabbis like to play with Hebrew words, so instead of saying Devarim for Deuteronomy, they said Devorim, which means bees. From Devorah, the singular bee. You might know the word for honey, which is Devash, similar letters. So what's the connection between Devorim and Devarim, bees with Deuteronomy? Well, Devarim, the book of Deuteronomy, essentially a repetition of much of the Torah, but also is very much a book that includes criticisms from our leader Moses, speaking on behalf of God to the Israelite people. And so we're about to begin a book with a great number of criticisms, among other things, among blessings and whatnot. But the key, I think, is how does Moses give criticism? And our rabbis teach us Moses gives us criticism like a bee. So we have about 500 different species of bee in Ohio, most common being the eastern bumblebee. But there's also the more famous honeybee. And that, to my understanding, is the only bee that will actually perish upon stinging. And so the rabbis think of Moses like a honeybee that in stinging, in its criticism, which is as painful as a sting, it pains the one who is criticizing so much that he actually perishes. So just as a honeybee perishes upon stinging, Moses will perish, Moses will die and not be able to enter the land of Israel upon the end of the book of Deuteronomy after this book of such criticisms. It's a really beautiful teaching, I think, because especially those without too much power in the world, we face a lot of criticisms. And when we think about the validity of such criticisms, one way to gauge that is to think of those who are giving the criticisms and ask ourselves, how are they giving this criticism? Is it causing them any pain to do so? And when we look at the book of Deuteronomy, Moses is getting criticisms that pains him. He's in pain criticizing the people. And he's also including himself in the criticisms, because guess what? He's part of the people of Israel. And so we learn from Moses, our most revered leader, how to give feedback, how to give criticism in a way that communicates authenticity, communicates legitimacy, and is constructive. So a little bit of honey, a little bit of Torah for your summer. Be well, everyone. Looking forward to seeing you back here soon.